All right, good afternoon. It's December 14th, 2022, and um, really we just had a range day. Prices were just back and forth. Basically, the overnight lows and the highs after the news item, uh, or I guess right before the news item, that created a midline, and prices hit the measured move, and then they bounced and ended up lower for the day. So we'll take a look. I do believe that early in the morning, there was two ways you could have played it, which was the yellow channel and this other channel. Um, I think the yellow channel would have been more helpful, but you do get a trade off of the blue channel early on. So we'll take a look at these. So in the overnight, prices were flip-flopping. Really, maybe this looks like a move down and a break and a couple legs to a new low. But when it went above this EMA here, then you don't really know what's going on. So you do get a second entry short with room back to the EMA. Not the greatest setup, just because. All right, I had a little interruption, but so this second entry works. Then we find support and we bounce and we start to go higher. So you do get a failure set up here, but we're just not clear what's happening yet. So it's a bit risky. But then you get this over here, this confirmation of this support and of this trend channel right here. So that's a double test. So you might take that. It's just a double test though. You can see prices bouncing off the midline. And then it turns out this blue channel is valid. We test it right here. I'm not really crazy about any of this. This is a second entry long, but signal bar is no good. Come down here. We test the trend channel again. I think that's confirmation. No, actually, this would probably be confirmation. So this is just the first entry, but then we get a failure right here, a good signal bar. And you might consider that. I mean, we didn't test the highs of the channel, so it's a little risky, but it's a good setup. Room to these highs, and that's exactly where we find resistance before it breaks. And then you get this spike in channel, and we had a triple test over here, and we come back and we get a triple test of it again. But I don't think you can take that. So I marked this failure, or actually it's a second entry long here, but it's just not a great setup, and it's in that hour before the news item, so probably not a good idea to take it. And we get this move down. You get a break. You get a first entry, second entry. But you know, this is shortly after, so that's 30 tick bar. You probably don't want to take that. But then we come down here, and you get a hidden second entry, and it looks pretty good. And after this move down, you'd think we'd probably try and test that, and that's exactly where it bounces, is the closes of this swing low. And then we're just going sideways, and there's really nothing you can take in there. And then I figured we would test these lows, and we attempted to, but we didn't really, it just failed. You see we get a break, move to a new high, comes down here, and you get like a triple test before it bounces. First entry, second entry, that far away from the EMA. This is clearly a range, so that's off the midline. You might take that, but if you don't want to take that, you get a first entry, failed second entry, and I was confident that we would test these lows, but look at this level of support if we don't test those lows, and that's where it bounced. Now we're just going sideways, choppy, very choppy. Then we make a move up, and you can see we overshot this range, and that leads to a break on the other side. And you do get a second entry long, but I mean, it's just we don't know what's happening right now. Double top, first entry, second entry. But that does end up being a good trade. We break out to the high side. First entry failed second entry, but it's on the wrong side of the EMA. And we're moving down. You get this lower high. You get a first entry, second entry. Probably going to test these lows. And then you get this lower high. I marked it red, but at that point, that's congestive. So you probably want to stay out of that. And it goes a little higher. It doesn't take these guys out, but it was trying to, and then it goes lower. And then that's pretty much it for the rest of the day. You could probably argue for this second entry long, but it's risky. This is very choppy and it's a range. So that's how I saw it today. I hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.